Welcome, everyone, to a brand new edition of Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. My name is John Polnik. We record this show in the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas daily, along with my partner Michael Deeb in his studio in San Francisco. Looks a little chilly down there. You're all bundled up, Michael Deeb.
We talk about
how
the weather
you doing?
Too much, yeah.
No
I am
weather.
JP. I am just focused on talking into the microphone because my levels are low.
As per usual on this dog meat, low budget piece of crap internet whiz bang show. Hey, have you guys subscribed yet? Have you guys shared an episode? Have you guys let everyone know that the Bid Nerds are daily? We're out here making content for you every day. We're not asking nothing for it except that you hit the subscribe, like, or notification button. That's all we ask. We know a lot of people watch that aren't subscribed. Why not, man? Come on, show some love. Subscribe to the show. We'd love to have you part of the Nerd Herd, Nerd Nation. All right, so what do we do on the show? If you're new to the show and you're going, what the heck is this stupid thing? I heard about it. I thought I'd check it out. We find the most interesting car of the day from all the bring a trailers, cars and bids, that kind of thing. We find the most interesting car. We have a conversation about that particular car. Then we make a prediction as to what we think will happen with that car's auction. Will it sell? Will it not sell? Will it fail to hit reserve? Will it bring gobs of money? Is it worth it? All those types of things. We encourage you to play along in the comments below. Tell us your opinions. We really want to hear what you guys think of these cars that are the most interesting car of the day, and we want to hear your bid predictions. We'll tell you when to do that just before we give ours, and you can kind of play along and see if you're any good at this, because at the end of the episode we'll shoot into the future and we'll actually find out what happens to the auction. So all right, Michael Deeb, today's car definitely qualifies as interesting. All right, what is this? This is a 964 Targa, but not just any 964 Targa. What the hell is going on here? What do we got?
Okay, all right, JP, help me out with this. Have we ever covered an authentic RWB on the show before? I don't think we have.
Hard to believe, but I don't think we have either.
Yeah, and honestly, as cool as they are and as often photographed as they are, I don't think they come up on the auction sites very often because I don't remember the last one. But our friends up in Portland, Oregon at Avant Garde, the very fine people at Avant Garde, their handle on Bring a Trailer is 911R, and they sell a lot of cars on here and take some really good photos and video as they bring their cars to market. Have sourced for our enjoyment a RWB modified and authentic 1991 Porsche 911 Carrera 2 Targa with a manual transmission. Our car has 141,000 miles and is offered for sale on the website. So, what is an RWB? Well, this gentleman, who I think has become a bit of a guru, is Mr., and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, JP, Akira Nakai. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, most people refer to him as Nakai-san.
Nakai, which is the correct Japanese. He lives in LA now, as I understand it. Again, if I'm wrong, please forgive me because I don't know what's about him. And he has a shop down there where he takes 964s and other Porsches. And while he does rather crude work, his work is instantly recognizable and bodacious because he'll literally, with a cigarette dangling out of his mouth, he'll just put a car up and just go ahead and cut the fender off by hand. No measurements done. And then he will graft his own design fenders and put them on the cars and take 911s and give them what I would just describe as an analogy, a very Japanese anime treatment to the cars. The wheels on this particular Targa are of his own design. The car also benefits from Fab Speed exhaust, KW V3 coilovers, a Momo steering wheel, and RS door cards. But as I understand it, this was the first Targa that he did in the United States. There is a video that accompanies the lot on Bring a Trailer, which I watched. It's really interesting. It literally shows him working on the car. And in his own words, he thinks that the Targa really lends itself to the scene for Porsches in California. He thinks the Targa is the perfect blend of what the California scene is all about. And so this was the first Targa that he did in his shop in California, because I do believe he got his start while he was working on these cars in his home of Japan. So this is an authentic car with a video to boot. It seems to have pretty interesting, I think, and rather significant provenance, that this is that car. And the miles wouldn't really scare me, because I just think this car, somebody's paying for the work, the fact that it's an authentic RWB, and that they don't come to market very often. So, John, the very simple question is, I know you love cars. I know you love the look. We all subscribe to the fantasy of driving a car. And I am the first one to tell you, I love a car with a wing on it. I love a car with a deep dish wheel. Do these go too far for you? Or if you could afford, or somebody handed you an RWB, would you rock it and smile and not care that everywhere you went, 20-year-old kids were taking video of you all the time? Like, does this go too far for John Polnik's sensibilities? Or is it still within the realm of, you'll be like, you know what, Deeb, F it, I would absolutely rock an RWB. I just think it's kind of cool. I do love them. I just don't know if I could run one. Certainly not one of his purple ones or bright green ones. Maybe a black or white one I could deal with, you know?
Yeah, it's a good question, because 964 911's arguably the best generation of the air-cooled 911. Targa, my personal favorite, not necessarily the most valuable. The coupes are still command the most money when it comes to 964s, but Targas are crazy rare in the 964 configuration. They did not make very many of them. RWB as a question, would I buy an RWB? Would I own an RWB? The short answer is, would I buy would I own an RWB? Would I consider owning one? The short answer is yes. Would I consider owning this one? Probably not. And mostly because this particular, now I'll admit, I know this car. This car lived in Seattle for a while. Cool. So this car was up at Cat's Exotic forever. I remember them when it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I don't know. I remember them struggling to try to, I think they were asking like $79,000 for this thing or something like that forever. This is one of the earlier RWBs that I ever saw in real life. And this particular car it just photographs so well. And I think RWB cars generally do. The Nikkei-san approach, the whole show up in 3 days, take a Sawzall to a car, and now you have this crazy thing. You look at someone like, Rod Emery, or the Singers or whatever, you want one of their cars. Not only do you have to wait for them to start to build it, but let's say you could somehow get Rod Emery to build you a car, and that was his priority. You didn't have to wait for him to finish the 40 other ones that are in line before you. It's still a year-long process. So it makes sense to buy a 356 and have him make one of his Emery Outlaw specials that takes a year or more to do, and pay 3 to 5x the value of a normal 356 for his work, right? But to pay 1, 2, 3x the value of a 964 Targa for this work just doesn't add up, man. And you look underneath the fenders of these cars. Look, I love the way this car looks. I don't really like the color of the wheels. That's the one thing I don't like. And I don't know if they really are RW wheels. I think the wheels that it started with, I think these are different wheels than this car started with, but that's something you'd have to look into the details.
That's true. No, you're absolutely correct. But the listing says that the wheels that are on the car are also
RWBs. Okay.
But in the video, the car was born with a different set of wheels that looked really good. I think they were black.
Yeah. The problem with this car, look, a 964, stock configuration, you put some great suspension on it, you uncork the exhaust a little bit, you get a little bit more poop. And 964s are the most popular air-cooled 911 because they're one of the best driving and handling air-cooled 911s. But you throw this treatment on a car, you're on, and this thing's up in Portland, and that totally makes sense. You're on the boulevard somewhere, you're at a light, and a kid in a Civic Type R pulls up next to you. He's going to blow the wheels off this stupid car. going to leave you there, right? And it's bad enough air-cooled 911s really aren't fast by comparison of modern cars. You drive, you make your air-cooled 911 all whiz-bang looking like this, it better be able to back it up, and this car can't. If anything, all this stupid stuff literally riveted to the car and glued on and all this stuff with caulking and everything, this car, all that stuff is taking away from the performance of this car, because it's at the end of the day, it's a 964 with 140 something thousand miles on it, and if you read the listing, it's true mileage unknown. I mean, at some point fairly recently, the odometer broke, right? Which happens on these things, because somebody that didn't know that you shouldn't hit the odometer when you're driving it push that button, and that just makes you go, well, who's been driving this thing for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years? And if you look at the Carfax on this car, not only does it not list how many owners there have been, because it's so who knows, there's been at least 5 or 6 owners since 2014. Wow. This car has been moved around and passed around and traded off, and people have gotten excited about looking at it, but I don't want this around. Look, this is not the RWB you're looking for. This is not the droid you're looking for. You want an RWB? Yeah. There are some good ones out there. This one ain't it. I guarantee whoever gets this car is going to have it for a little while, and they're going to get rid of it too. This is a hard pass. If this car had a brand new powertrain in it, someone rebuilds this engine and puts a supercharger on it or something like that, and builds it for induction. Now you're talking. Now it looks the part and actually is the part. But just a beat down, roached out 964 with a bunch of stuff tacked onto it, not worth the extra money that someone is gonna pay. Someone's gonna pay dearly for this car, and that brings us to numbers. I mean, what do you think, Deeb? All this stuff, what's this gonna bring?
You hit some really good points, JP, that I just want to touch on really quick.
Sure.
Certainly, when you put those big wheels on the front, this generation of 911, they handle beautifully. They're really wonderful cars to drive. But you put a wheel and tire package on the front of this car, and you just kill the steering. The steering is dead and heavy and dumb, and these cars, they're lowered and slammed to the ground. They have like a demon drop, but they don't handle any better. I'm sure this car rides like shit too. The other thing that I thought was really interesting.
Right in that mic, buddy. Right in that mic, buddy.
The other thing that I thought was really interesting, the way you summarized that, Emery is high on design and high on craftsmanship. These cars are high on design, but the craftsmanship isn't there to back them up. And so these cars aren't used to be, a conducive unit is going to be better than the car they started with. In fact, it's the opposite, for reasons like the steering with those big wheels and tires. Anyway, going to the value, it's really hard to tell, because I don't think there's a ton of comps. Just based on what's happening in the marketplace and how rare these cars are, they do have a weird cult following, even if you and I wouldn't put our greenbacks down for the car. So our car's sitting at $110,000 on 5 bids, and it closes in about 4 days from now. I do think this car is going to do pretty well, because it's on Bring a Trailer and because the photos and the videos look good. So I'm going to just go out on a limb and say I think this car will probably bring close to $159,000. JP, where are you at?
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy to make that prediction. It's not worth $159,000. I mean, look, a Targa 964, a clean Targa 964, will bring well over $100,000. With a manual. This one, because it's got all this stupid stuff on it, someone is dying there's a bunch of people that are like, take my money, please. They're that meme, right? They've got their pile of sweaty cash. Somebody wants this because, the millennial thing to do is to pay this guy to come to your house for 3 or 4 days, or rather to have your dad pay for this guy to come to your house for 3 or 4 days, smoke a bunch of cigarettes in your garage, and tack this thing together. But there's people out there that don't want to wait, that don't want to pay that extra premium. I mean, I don't know what he charges. I've heard rumors, but I don't even know. It's going to be a lot. So, I mean, look at this guy. He's just here's a video that we're showing. He's just by hand winging it. $159,000. Is that your bid?
Yeah.
I'll go 150. I'll just stay bearish and go and hope that people aren't quite that dumb, but I'm probably going to lose this one. This one would probably go for big money. All right, what do you guys think? Is an RWB worth the money? Are you okay with owning a car that looks like it will blow the wheels off of everything, but absolutely won't? I mean, it's kind of like, back in the 90s or the early aughts when people were taking Fieros and making them look like Lamborghinis. I mean, that's great until you actually have to drive the darn thing. All right, that's my take on it. Let's find out. Get your bids in there right now, and let's, why don't you hit the subscribe, like, and notification button? And we will find out what happens with this crazy RWB right after. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX_customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. All right, let's get back to the bids. Let's find out how much that car sold for today. Welcome back to Bid Nerds. Thanks for sticking around, seeing it through. You want to find out what happened with this RWB? Man, oh man, do we have a surprise for you? Not only are we going to reveal what happened with the auction on this RWB, we are going to introduce our good friend Bradley Brownell coming to us from Ohio. What's up, Bradley? How are you, buddy?
Ohio? Who vacations in Ohio? What are you doing in Ohio?
I live here now, and I love it.
Oh, did you lose a bet?
No, but ask me again in February, and I might be ready to move back.
Are you shoveling snow yet? It's Halloween. It must be shoveling snow.
No, not even close. Our winters are pretty mild. It was in the 50s today, so we're good.
Oh boy,
nice. Well, hey, if there were a reason to go ahead and take a vacation in Ohio, I guess the thing you'd have to do is go to the Crawford Museum, right? Tell us about that. You're running the joint.
So, yeah. I'm the director of the Crawford Auto Aviation Museum. We've got a star-studded collection of cars. We had a car out at Pebble Beach this year and came home with a trophy.
Really?
So, yeah, heck yeah.
What car was it? Which one?
It was something you've never heard of, 1916 Owen Magnetic.
Wow.
It's a hybrid from 112 years ago or whatever.
That sounds like you, Bradley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very odd, very cool. I love it. It was great.
That is some EV Brad sport right there. All right, guys.
Totally.
Well, since we have an expert on Porsches, he's also the editor-in-chief. Do I say that for Flat Sixes?
Yeah.
Bradley is no.
He's a ringer.
He knows his Porsches. All right, Deep. Let's get a quick reminder. What is going on with this RWB Targa here?
So JP knows this car because it spent time in the Pacific Northwest. It is a 1991 Porsche 911 Carrera 2 Targa that was done by RWB, by Akira in his shop in Los Angeles some years ago. The car's showing about 141,000 miles, but they're saying true mileage unknown. Allegedly, this is the first Targa he did in the United States. There's a nice little video that accompanies the listing on Brit Trailer that shows him saying how much he felt that this Targa fit the scene in California. Very cool car. JP and I both agreed that the wheels weren't our cup of tea, but I think that the Targa with the little ducktail spoilers, very cool. So, Bradley, I went on this car and I said $159,000. JP, always the pragmatic one, said $150,000. The car sold. What do you think it went for?
It's hard to say. I'm gonna, a custom has to go to your specific style, and personally, I love this thing. The wheels look a little but everything else is great. 964 Targa is a pretty rare bird in itself.
Right.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the under. I'm gonna say 135.
135, not a bad guess. 135,000. I'll put you down. Our car sold on Bring a Trailer. Go ahead, JP.
I was just gonna say before you reveal. I mean, you did it again. You gave him the option to give his number, but you said this car sold. As of right now, we're in the future. The people watching this episode didn't know if it sold or didn't sell. This thing could have failed to sell, but you gave him the. What are you? Did Bradley pay you under the table? Did he send you a check before we did this? What is going on?
JP, you've known me for like 7 years now. You must know I can't keep a secret. Like, good God!
I think you're on the take, is what I'm saying. I think this is a sham.
If you want everybody to know what's going on in this world, just tell me not to tell anybody. Okay, so our car sold, Bradley, for $144,000. JP won this one. 31 bids, not bad action. Bradley, seeing how you like this car, and you took the under. What do you think of that result? 144,000. That seems like fair value for what's sitting there.
More or less, maybe. I don't know. I mean, like I said, a custom has to speak to you, so. I think this would be more of an emotional purchase than it would be a pragmatic financial decision, But, I mean, you're going to get looks everywhere you go. You'll get attention for sure. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for and it's worth 150 grand to you or 144 grand to you, then, you did all right. I think the seller, you said they're not the original, or they're not the one that commissioned the build because they were.
No, I don't think so.
No, there's been like 9 owners since then. It's been through a lot of hands. Yeah, not even exaggerating. Yeah, Bradley,
but I would say I don't think you can build this car for that. Is what I was going to go to.
Yeah, I mean, just getting a Targa 964 is going to cost you 100 grand. What's that?
Yeah.
No,
I just think it would cost a lot more than 144. Is all.
Yeah, it's interesting you said you're going to get a lot of looks because that is the appeal to this car. There's no doubt about it because that's really the only appeal to this car. If you're into, we said it before the break, and Bradley, you didn't get to hear the whole rundown on this car. I mean, it's just a stock 964 under this. Adding all this extra stuff is not going to enhance the performance. It's pretty much going to lessen the drive quality of this car. And my take before the break was just that, if you're going to look like this, you kind of need to have a turbo or a supercharger or something that kind of like goes along with it.
Defend yourself.
Otherwise, it's like wearing one of those like fake muscles under your shirt or something like that. But for 150 grand, I don't think you could buy anything that's going to get you as many looks as something like this, other than maybe an R8. Which is for douchebags.
I think this gets infinitely more attention than an R8.
Sure, I get that. Well, maybe not a bright yellow one, but this car belongs in Las Vegas because we don't really have a whole lot of twisty roads, or it belongs in Florida, right? I mean, where everyone wants to floss and flex, but there are no twisty roads, and who cares if you go fast or not, or mountains, yeah. So, all right, guys.
This is a Miami car for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely
If it had working air conditioning, which I doubt it does. What do you guys think of the results of this Nakayasan build? Is this something that you would spend all the extra money on, or would you just rather have a stock 964 turbo? I'm sorry, not turbo, but Targa. Let us know in the comments below. And hey, while you're at it, we appreciate you watching the show. We really do. We know there are a lot of you guys that are watching but haven't subscribed yet. Please do so if you haven't already, and share this video to a friend. Let them know that the nerds are out there, and chances are you know a lot of nerds, because as a nerd I can tell you that almost everyone I know is one, and we need all the nerds to kind of, nerd power, man. Let's make this happen. Bradley, thanks again for hanging out with us. You gonna come back?
Oh, of course. I'll be here tomorrow.
All right, good. Then let's do this again tomorrow.
Family.
See you, fellas.
Get those words!